Hi there. So today we'll be talking through how to create a webcam-based dance challenge game in Unreal Engine. Particularly, we'll be using two tools. We've introduced dollars mono via our previous streams before, but we're also really interested in the possibility of making a cloud-based dance challenge game that you can easily make in Unreal Engine. So for the past few streams, we've been looking at Radical Motion and its products to do live streaming animation data using just a single webcam. So this is really, really exciting because it means that each time you go on Radical Motion and start a room, you only have to use your iPhone or your webcam, and they will be able to ingest our webcam frames and then to send us back animation data inside Unreal Engine. This is really useful for people who just want to make animation data via a kind of like Zoom-like experience. And for me, the infrastructure around mocap and streaming is really exciting. And so I kind of want to take a first crack at this webcam-based, potentially cloud-based dance challenge game by using just colliders in Unreal Engine. So today, rather than walking through which tool I'll be using for motion capture, I'm just going to do something locally to set up maybe potential game UI and also interactions in this game. So my idea is that we can use motion tracking with dollars to get positions of where our hands are at, and hopefully use colliders to then hit different kind of score colliders potentially, or to hit different positions so we keep a score of that. So it should be a relatively easy process. That should be a 20-30 minute setup. So let's have a try. So as a first start for today, I'll be creating extra colliders, and I think all of the programming and kind of visual programming I'll be doing to understand the logic of the game. I'll probably do that through level blueprint. We can also do that with separate blueprints, but we'll figure that out as we go. I think maybe the first thing we can do is we can create a blueprint counter. That might be the most kind of neat way to do it. So I'm just going to go to content. I'm going to create a new folder. If you've been following the tutorial series, this is just an addition to our VTuber tutorial series. So we're using the same MetaHuman character, the same setup. So today I'm just going to name this game Dance Challenge and name this folder Dance Challenge. I'm going to create a new blueprint based on this. So all we need is an actor blueprint. So BP dance. I would say this is the counter for score. So I'm going to say dance score counter. And here I will create first maybe a static mesh so we know where we can kind of like place the character in line with this static mesh and hopefully of the same scale. Sorry. So I'm just going to do cube. I'm going to do an SM cube. And ideally, this would give us some sense of where the scale is at. Next, in terms of dance moves, I'm going to go for something super simple today. I need to think of better moves and dance design, and this is also to prep us and potentially future users or 5.4 users on the newer features of 5.4. So with Unreal Engine, we're being introduced to motion matching and also their 500 plus poses in their pose library. Motion matching is really, really, for me, a massive add-on for 5.4. For those of you who've been working on locomotion, it's such a difficult thing to do previously, but hopefully my idea for this game is that today we'll do a very simple version of hands hitting colliders and score counting, but in the future, I would love to kind of have I would love to have the game understand which poses a user is posing, which poses which kind of we are doing, and then match that to one of the poses in the pose library. With that, the game can then adhere to the 500 pose libraries, and we can use that pose library to guide the gamer and the player which moves they'll have to do next. So today I'm gonna just do one pose and then collider, and then make sure that the score is counting right. So super, super easy. With this new blueprint, we will need maybe 4 colliders. So we need a box collider for each. So box collision, we have number 1 over here. And then I'm just gonna click Alt and move to the right. Might not work on this one. So just copy box collision, move that, move upwards. And then I'm also going to have some kind of leg colliders as well. My guess is my legs aren't going to move too much. We're going to just move them side by side gently. So I'm going to create 5 overall 5 boxes today. 1 for the head, 2 for the ends of my left arm and right arm, and then left leg, right leg. This should be the head one. Let me just move that to the top. I'm going to rename it Head Collider. Box. I think that's the right hand collider. Then left hand collider. Left leg, right leg. So that must be the right leg. Left leg collider, finally. Cool. So that looks about right. I'm just going to place this in the scene. Oh, I've just realized I'm not sharing on that screen. So I've just created an actor blueprint. In there, I've added a static mesh. This is to help me just match the the kind of character scale. And then I've added 5 colliders. So head collider, right hand collider, left hand collider, right leg, left leg, left leg. Just make sure that it's mirrored because that's how the mocap's going to work. So now we can just quickly place this in. You can notice that it's currently tilted, so we need to tilt that back and make sure it's on the right side. So left hand, that's correct. So make sure that that's properly tilted. So -90 should be the right orientation. Just gonna move that to the front. definitely way too big, so I'm going to make that much smaller. Should be actually a almost perfect size. So what I'm going to do is quickly adjust where these are. Right hand here. And the simplest thing we can do today really is to count how many times we're in complete T-pose. I think we can make that as a first step really quickly. So just making sure that's done well. Okay, so the static mesh, remember, doesn't really do anything, so I'm not going to center that too much. I'm going to just do this. Right leg, and move that, move that. Nice, we're properly kind of caging the character in this blueprint counter. Next thing, we'll need to put make sure that we can also create and add spheres at each end of the character, and when that sphere hits one of these boxes, then we can kind of start counting or start adding scores. So we can basically attach a sphere to each end of the body. So I'm going to do that now. Cube, maybe. Cube has to be 0.1, maybe. Just place this cube over here. I'm going to attach it to the head. So it's always going to be attached to the head socket. So if you select the cube, go to the parent socket and click head. This means that it will always be attached to the head even when we have mocap on. And then I might attach the others through, we're just going to duplicate. Head cube, and I'm going to attach this to the right hand. Right. Let's do that one again. And we have, I'm going to remove, this to the right hand now. So this is, sorry, left hand. Perfectly positioned. So I'm going to name this left hand cube. then duplicate and name this right hand cube. Attach this to the right hand and underscore R. Great. Then attaching this to leg or foot, left, extending that to the end, then naming that left foot cube, duplicate, right foot cube. Finally, right foot cube goes to foot underscore R. And just need to extend that to the end. Great, we basically have all of the cubes we need for collision. So now we need to create a we need to click back on the blueprint dance score counter, and we'll need right hand collider, left hand collider, head collider, right leg collider, and left leg collider. So all we need to do is reference a character and make sure that the character is referenced. We'll get the cube that references the right hand, left hand, so on and so forth, and check if they're colliding with each other. So let's have a look at on components begin overlap. On component begin overlap, and if the other overlap component, we'll find out who the other actor is. Let's have a look. So now we need to create a variable to reference the same character. So what we need is to reference BP owl. So this is a $mocap actor blueprint class. We need to make sure that we have the parent class set up just right. Reference we're gonna make. So what I've done is created a new variable. I'm gonna name this character. It is the class BP owl because it's the same class as this character in the scene, but you're also free to choose whichever class your character is working on. I think for now, we just need to check that the other actor is the same as is the same as our character, and then that will work pretty well. So let's do that. So I'm just gonna have a look at my dollars mocap. It's so hard to get it to straighten. So what we can do next is to check that when right hand and left hand collider is overlapping, then we do something. Overlap on begin overlap. So again, it's right hand collider on begin overlap. Then it creates a custom event. Right hand colliders. And then we'll do the same with the left hand just to test. Where's they? Find event to on a component begin overlap. Then create a custom event. I'm gonna name them later, sorry about mess. And then print string, left hand collided. Okay, let's have a try. It's actually so hard to see when they're not showing the bounds, so I'm just gonna hit hidden and uncheck hidden in game so we can see whether it's working or not. Should have that. Okay. Still quite far away, so I'm gonna move the hand. Okay, it's finally worked when I move my boxes closer. It was way too far. So now right hand is collided. I have mixed up the left and right. I think maybe dollars does a mirror one that we can disable. Might be mirroring wrong. But either way, it doesn't really matter too much. I think all we need to do is check that all the cubes are in its place, and we'll start counting a score. So we're gonna do all the same to set a boolean on each cube. If they're all true, then we display, we print string, and maybe we can also create a UI for that as well. So what we're gonna do now is do the same thing to all the colliders. So this is right hand. So I'm gonna change this to right hand collider. Change this custom event to left hand. And then we're going to create a few more custom events, including head. Connect this and connects the head collider to that bind event node. Bring this in. And we're going to do that for the rest of the colliders, so left leg and right leg. Right leg and right leg. Move that down, and then left leg. Bind event to component begin overlap. Yay, so there we go. All of them super manual, but all done now. Gonna make this left leg. We need all of them to be true at the same time. If all of them are true, then we do something. So we're gonna set a variable here that is right hand collided, maybe right hand true, left hand true, left hand true, left leg head true, left leg true, left leg true, right leg true. So right hand set, right hand to true. Set left hand to true. Great. So we can create a branch here if all of these are true. If they're an and Boolean, we can add all the pins in here. Then we print string. Great. Pose correct. Pose is correct. So now it's gonna be so hard, honestly. Gonna move away. Trying to match my hands to the right collider still. Nice. So I've just added different print strings to make sure that all of them can be read. Hello. Hi, how's it going? Yeah, so we're currently detecting poses, but we're doing this in a really, really simple way. Just a while ago, we were just tracking whether the box colliders are responding to collision, um, and on the component begin overlap do something. But currently, we're just testing that and making sure that's working pretty well. So it seems like it only does it on when it begins overlap and isn't overlapping. So I might change something to binding the event on, there isn't like a stay overlap one, but initially maybe all of these have to be slightly away. So I'm going to move the head one. That's going to be so difficult actually. Which means I'll just have to move all of them separately for now. I'm going to do this weird pose where the arms are extending to the front and the head also bends forward a little. Actually, just going to move the whole thing out. Need to check how far I am. I'm simulating body movement by just moving this whole blueprint altogether. So if all of them are true, then we should get something like pose is correct. Not getting much from the feet. I wonder why that is. Look like true. Yeah, so I've got poses correct when I move up and down. Oh, good. So the system is working. Once we have the print string, you can easily turn this into a UI that counts for um, that counts upwards each time. And I think today we're gonna probably have to leave it at here. Next week, I've got a more interesting kind of approach to it that I want to chat about. Hi Lucas. Turn on and off based on the pose. Yeah, for sure. So I think ideally if we generate 5 random points that the user must hit in each blueprint within a certain range, um, the the character just has to collide with these 5 points. Um, so they can be so that the colliders can be randomly generated. There could be a prompt that guides the user to move a certain way, and then we use that score counter. So today is kind of like the first step in doing the logic, but next week we can do probably procedurally or randomly generating the colliders, and then maybe creating a UI to count for that as well. So if you missed the beginning of the tutorial, we were talking about potentially using this and integrating this with 5.4's motion matching tutorial, which I think will be really, really useful for a use case, for a dance challenge like this. Yeah, so the tools also support packaging in terms of webcam capture. So the idea is that we might use radical motion as a test for this to be a webcam-based and kind of like cloud-based game that you can play with your friends. Because last time me and some viewers, we did this multiplayer kind of webcam webcam streaming thing, and it was really fun. And I thought, why don't we create this into a dance game? So you can think of this as a start, but yeah, thank you so much for watching. Hopefully it was fun. Sorry, I was kind of silent for a bit in the middle of the tutorial as I was working through reasons why it's not popping up. But yeah, thank you so much, and I'll see you soon. Thanks for joining. Sorry, it's must be quite late where you are. It's also quite late in London, so yeah, nice to see you and hope to see you soon.